Hello, my beautiful diamonds. Welcome. This is your girl, Precious Jewel Total Life Change. Here to change your life today. Yes, here to change your life today. I am big on self-love. And my 2021 goal for myself was to become a better me. To master and become a better me. And I must say, I made it, y'all. I'm very excited. I've learned a lot of things about myself. I loved on myself more than I ever did my whole entire life. So here's are some ways that I learned to become a better me. So if you see me looking down, I got some notes. Some ways I've learned to become a better me is I don't do things that people expect me to do for them. Back in the time, there was a time in my life that I used to do things for friendship. I used to do things for family members. I no longer do those things anymore. And because I stopped doing them, we're not as close as we used to be. So that showed me, in other words, I was buying friendship. I was buying love from family members. I no longer do those things. Self-love is better. So I no longer do things to please others. That's tip number one. That's what I did. I forgive myself. I forgive myself from all the childhood hurt that I have been through. Forgiving myself honestly helped me. When Ayana used to say, you got to forgive yourself, I'm like, forgive myself? Why would I forgive myself? I didn't do anything. Yeah, I did. I forgive myself for not loving me. I forgive myself for not thinking I'm not beautiful enough. I forgive myself for calling myself ugly. I forgive myself for all the trauma and hurt that I have put myself through. I forgive me. Tip number 3, appreciate who you are. Appreciate who you are. It took me a long time to appreciate who I am. Even today, I get weird looks. I get chatters. I get all kinds of things. And when I used to get those things, I used to feel bad, like, why they don't like me? Why they don't care for me? Why they don't this? But now I'm like, I don't even care. Because I appreciate who I am. And I worked so hard to become the person that I am today. And I can't lose the person that I am to please nobody else. To be in a friendship. To be in a relationship. To be a wife. I can't lose who I am just to be these things. Tip number 3. Okay, this is tip number 4. Learn from all your mistakes. In life, we got to learn from all our mistakes. And I use mistakes in life as the seasonings that we put inside our pot. And our collard greens, it's New Year's Eve, y'all know everybody cooking their collard greens. So the seasoning that you put in that pot to make that pot taste good, you got to learn from your mistakes. So these mistakes were my seasoning to become a better me. Mistakes that I made in relationship, the mistakes that I made as being a mother, the mistakes that I made as being a sister, the mistakes that I made as being a girlfriend. I learned from all those mistakes. And learning from all the mistakes helped me to become a better me. And it's okay to admit. And some of them I called them and I'm like, listen, I apologize for what I put you through. I apologize for what I said. No, I apologize. We are human. We go through things. It's a learning process. So those are the 4. I actually have 10 steps, but I'm not going through all 10. I just letting y'all know like the 4 main steps that I learned to become a better me. And it was not easy because as I look over my life, and I changed the way that I eat, eating more plant-based food and more raw vegetables, you starting to think different. You don't think the same no more. And it's a good feeling. It's a totally different, it's a natural high. Eating vegetables, smoothies, juices, it's a natural high. It's a feeling that I can't even explain. And y'all, listen. You have to become a better you. So those were my goals for 2021. So my one goal that I have for 2022 is to keep pushing myself. Some of us get too busy being comfortable in the person that we are till we forget about the person that we can become if we learn how to become uncomfortable. Let me say those words again. In life, we have to learn how to become uncomfortable. We stay in relationship. Why? Because we're comfortable. We keep talking to family members and know the family members ain't no good for us. Why? Because we comfortable. Learn how to get uncomfortable. And learn how to sit in your own mess alone. Learn how to sit in your own mess alone. And keep pushing yourself. The world wasn't made in a day. And it's going to take a process. But guess what? Keep pushing yourself. Keep pushing yourself. Who's going to push you? Nobody. But who's going to push you better than you pushing you? You got to keep pushing yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to keep pushing yourself. Don't say you don't have enough time, enough money to change yourself. Don't say you don't have enough time, enough money to change yourself. You know why we have time? Do you know why we have the same amount of time? Helen Keller. We have the same amount of time that Helen Keller had. Mother Teresa. We got the same amount of time that Mother Teresa had. And guess what? You know who else? Jesus Christ. The same amount of time that he had, the same amount of time that Mother Teresa had, the same amount of time that Helen Keller had. We have the same amount of time today. We just gotta make steps of becoming a better you. We have to make the steps. And keep pushing yourself. When you push yourself beyond your limits, you can discover an inner self you never thought existed. Let me say that again. When you keep pushing yourself beyond your limits, you can discover an inner self that you never thought existed. I'm a witness to that. I would never thought I am the woman that I am today, because the woman that I am today, I'm not the same woman that I was years ago. Especially when my father passed away, I'm not the same person. But you gotta be consistent and keep pushing yourself to become a better you. Let me say that again. When you push yourself beyond your limits, when you push yourself beyond your limits, you will discover an inner self that you never thought existed. You never thought existed. How would you know who you can become if you don't push yourself? How would you know who you can become if you don't push yourself? We always put things off until the next day. It's New Year's Eve. I know we have plenty of people. Oh, starting tomorrow, I ain't eating no more meat. I ain't gonna do a veggie plate. I ain't gonna lose some weight. What are the steps? What are your actions behind losing weight? And why wait until the next day? Start today. Start right now, this minute. Start right now, this minute. Like, you don't have to wait. And when you make plans, do actions behind it. What's your steps to getting to where you want to be? And you got to get uncomfortable. We have to get uncomfortable. Some of us are so comfortable with our surroundings till you don't even want to change your surrounding because you're so comfortable. You will never discover the person that you are until you get uncomfortable. I'm doing a YouTube video. I made a YouTube channel that was on my vision board 3 years ago. I am also starting my podcast that was on my vision board like 3 years ago. I keep postponing it because I don't like to be in the spotlight. I don't like to do videos. I don't like to take pictures. I don't like to do this. But guess what? You gotta get uncomfortable. You have to get uncomfortable. I can't explain that. When you push yourself beyond your limits, you discover the inner self in which you never thought existed. You gotta keep pushing yourself. So Precious Jewel gonna leave on this note. We have to continue to push ourselves. Push yourself. Get uncomfortable. Write goals. Write goals. Get uncomfortable. A jackpot might be waiting on you, but you just gotta get uncomfortable first. We don't know. But how would you know if you don't keep pushing yourself? How would you know if you don't? How would you know if you don't push yourself? How would you know if you don't discover the inner you, the inner true you? So this your girl, Precious Jewel, TLC, Total Life Change. Here to change your life today. Let's go, you guys. All right, my diamonds, much love.